So it's the 14th of July.
Yes, it is.
And what's on your mind about what's going on in Oklahoma or the nation or both?
Interesting thing today happened in Oklahoma. Epic Charter Schools has been around Oklahoma for quite some time. You can Google them and get basic information. The founders, the former guys, they're no longer in charge. They have been arrested and charged. I'm sure they're released on bail, but they embezzled or defrauded the state like $11 million. And they went after a Republican state senator named Ron Sharp, who I think he's from Shawnee area, former teacher, and he really was trying to hold them to account and on behalf of taxpayers and parents and students. And they went after him. They filed a frivolous lawsuit. So you can't waste the court's time as an attorney. And so the judge ruled that their frivolous lawsuit, saying that Senator Sharp had said lies about him, which he hadn't. Anyway, Epic is having to pay over $500,000. I sort of say million, but $500,000 to Senator Sharp. And it's not like he earned it. This is to punish Epic for what they did, because what they did using our court system to go after people is wrong, and it's unethical, and it's illegal, and so they were fined. And so that's a little bit of justice today for public education and for Senator Sharp. He was a real hero for public education in Oklahoma, and he paid a price, but he also has integrity.
And so what does that have to do with us?
One of the things it has to do is if somebody is taking taxpayer dollars, we own our home, we pay property taxes, we pay sales tax, we pay state income tax. Most people do in Oklahoma. When you pay taxes, there is a sense of trust within the government that they will do what's best with your money, and because it's our money, and look out for the interest of the public. And they gave it or allowed Epic to take it. There's a whole big mess about all of that stuff. But when somebody does something like that, you want to make sure that people...
Is that taken away from my local school?
Yes.
It is. It's taken away from my students here in this town.
Yes.
And given it to students in Epic, which may not be in this town. Or
well, here's how it works. Let's say you and I have a kid, little Luna Leonard. And little Luna Leonard decides that she doesn't like Purcell schools anymore, and she wants to go to school in Epic, which is online. And they were doing online before COVID. And when she leaves Purcell schools, Oklahoma allocates a certain amount of money for students every year, like per student spending. It's like $9,000. So when they give money to Purcell schools, they're going to deduct that $9,000 that would normally go to Purcell schools to cover little Luna Leonard, and they'll give that to Epic. Now, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times a student doesn't do well in Epic.
We had students from Epic come back
to
junior high.
Yes.
Do they bring the rest of their $9,000
No,
back?
it's gone.
Epic keeps it all.
Epic keeps
So
it.
now Purcell is teaching a student
For free.
with no funding for that student.
Right, and it's not necessarily a student. That's the thing about school choice, and this is a whole big long thing, and I'm not even the most educated on it. I would check out Non-Doc with Trey Savage. He has done great work on this. Erica Buzzard Wright on Oklahoma Rural Schools on Facebook. She has a long history of fighting this. There's other people that have done great work on exposing Epic, but the fact that a judge said this was wrong, you're going to have to pay money back, and people were arrested and charged. Epic has done some good things, but they have done some very bad things. And really, who's most responsible are our governors, especially Kevin Stitt. They allowed this to happen because here's what happens. Epic gets money from the state. It goes into the pockets of the Epic founders. They take that money, they give it back in political donations to candidates who are running and elected officials for their campaigns, and they keep giving more and more to Epic. And so it's this little circle of ick.
You keep funding me for my campaign, and I'll keep...
And I'll cut you. It's private prison. I mean, it happens all the time. And look up Citizens United, whole nother deal. But this is an issue.
Okay.
Boomer.